Hello, today we're going to look at the use of 704 for coating wood, specifically wood. You can use it for coating stone, but we're focusing on the use for wood. Now the 704 will arrive with you in full concentration. What we can do is we can use it at full concentration or we can dilute it. And in this instance, we're showing the dilution with IPA. You can also use 99% ethanol. So let's look at the various coated pieces, samples of wood we've got in front of you, and we'll talk about the different characteristics we'd expect with dilution. So here we have 50%, 50% 704, 50% IPA mixed together, and we just draw it along the surface. We could spray it, we could brush it, we can roller it, whatever. And in that instance, we get very good penetration into the wood because it's quite a dilute liquid, and we get a little bit of gloss as well. Now, only a little bit, but a little bit of gloss. You will notice always that the 704 enriches the colour of the wood. That has not been brushed, it's just as it is. That will give us very good hydrophobicity, not such good stain resistance. Now we move on to here. We have a first layer, penetrative layer of 50%. So we've put the 50% on, that's thin, that goes into the wood, and then we've topped it up with an 80% layer about 5 minutes later when it's still tacky, and we've come with a thicker layer. We've also wiped this layer so that we have a matte finish. We didn't wipe it here, we've wiped it here so it's a matte finish. That's going to give us very good hydrophobicity and good stain resistance against red wine, olive oil, things like that. Over here, we've got just 100%. Now the 100% will work exceptionally well, but we don't with this have the penetration because it's a fairly thick coating, and because it's thick it won't penetrate as readily. But that is fairly glossy, that by itself will give you very good stain resistance, hydrophobicity. Here is what we'd recommend for maximum stain resistance and durability. It is a 50% diluted solution that goes in, that absorbs into the wood, penetrates into the wood, and about 10 minutes later, 5-10 minutes later, whilst it's still tacky, could be, depends on the temperature. In the UK it could be 20 minutes, half an hour later because it's not so warm, and we apply a top layer. So there we have 100% on top, just wiped. You allow that to dry. We say minimum 12 hours before you would walk on it. Again, depends on the temperature, but minimum 12 hours. This coating will give us exceptionally good stain resistance and oleophobicity. Here we have an example that's 80%. That's a sort of halfway house. It's not the thickest coating. You can just put that on. This would be ideal for areas that you're not going to walk on so much, just wood, exterior wood on a wall or something like that. It penetrates slightly, well, penetrates quite well, but slightly. And we've also wiped that so it's not so glossy. Here we have 80%, reasonable penetration, very good hydrophobicity, excellent hydrophobicity, lasts for years, and we've not wiped that. I can see it's slightly glossier. This has a matte texture, this has a glossy texture. So the message is, you can mix and match the dilutions, you can multi-coat, you can do whatever you like to achieve the performance characteristics that you wish. 704, as we know, is resistant to heat. I'm not saying it's a fire retardant because it depends on the substrate, but you can normally, the coating is massively resistant to heat. We're now going to look at these coatings here. Sometimes people want a quicker, not necessarily easier, or different characteristics. So we've got some other coatings. Here we have, this corner here is our 620. 620 is a stone coating and a wood coating, massively penetrative. That coating will penetrate at least 3 millimeters into here. It becomes part of the wood, and so when the wood is abraded, it still remains hydrophobic. Not so stain resistant. Again, it enriches the colour a little bit, but very well thought of as a protection for wood, but not so stain resistant. Here we have our 691 coating. That is our universal stone fabric, but it's also very good on wood, and that gives us very good hydrophobicity, some stain resistance, but predominantly hydrophobicity. So there we go. This is our general array of technologies for coating wood. Main focus on 704 because of the massive durability.